Welcome back to my G1 Retro Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the original Transformers series episode, the Autobot Run. In this episode, the Decepticons construct a device to trap the Autobots in their vehicle modes. We begin this episode with Spike and Chip watching a Formula One race. Why do I get the feeling I should have had Proto-Man in on this episode review too? In case you missed it, my buddy Proto-Man from the Transformers Slag podcast recently guest starred in my video review of the Transformers Prime episode, Speed Metal, where he lent some of his racing experience on that episode. Let me know if you'd like to see him come back and talk about another racing episode in the future. Maybe when we eventually get to the episode Trans-Europe Express. So we see the Decepticons hanging out in a Old West town? Man, now I kinda want to see a Western episode of Transformers. I guess there kind of was with the episode Wild Wheel. Now I wish there was a G1 Wild Wheel. So the Decepticons are working on their latest weapon of the week, the Transfixatron, which sounds like a device that would make you fall in love with someone, like a technological version of Cupid's arrow. Unfortunately, as we soon learn, this isn't some kind of love gun, but is actually a transformation lock cannon. Which kind of reminds me of Tarantulas' invention from the Beast Wars episode, The Probe, which basically did the same thing, but was more portable, and prevented the Maximals from contacting the titular probe from Cybertron. Megatron seeks to test the Transfixatron on Starscream. Now I wish this was a love gun.
No, Megatron! You can't mean to...
What's a test without a guinea pigatron?
Wait, there are Cybertronian versions of guinea pigs? They must be so cute. Aww, I kind of want a pet guinea pigatron now. Back at the Autobot base, Optimus Prime agrees to put on an Autobot race for charity.
Ladies and gentlemen, our celebrity guests, the sensational Autobots!
Hey, where are their cars?
Seriously, dude? Okay, I can't. I just can't. How has this guy gone through life and not heard about the giant alien robots that turn into cars until now? How is he at this charity and not know what an Autobot is? Is this guy some kind of troll? Or did he seriously expect the Autobots to show up in some other form of transportation, like a giant car or something? So, the Autobots begin the race, but Skywarp hits them with the Transfixatron.
Well, Skywarp, they never knew what hit them. Excellent. Now the Autobots can no longer call themselves Transformers.
What, did Hasbro lose the copyright? Also, this is the first time we ever hear the Transformers actually refer to themselves as Transformers. The Autobots then set up for an Evel Knievel style stunt.
Sunstreaker, wait! You won't be able to get up enough momentum to clear that distance.
Don't worry, Prime! When they built me, they broke the mold!
The sad truth is that G1 Sunstreaker's mold might actually be broken or lost, which is why we've never gotten a reissue of his original toy in all these years. Sunstreaker doesn't quite make it, but luckily, Windcharger uses his magneto powers to save him from crashing.
Be careful when you set me down! I just had a new wax job! I don't want to scuff my patina!
Don't scratch your what? Are you allowed to say that on this show? Oh, patina. Never mind, I was thinking of something else. So the Decepticons show up, and just before we go to the ad break, we see Megatron do this kind of sexy walk. See? I told you Megatron could be a model. Look at that catwalk. Yeah, work it, Megatron. Back at the Autobot base, Chip is using Teletran when we see this weird robot displayed on the screen. He kind of looks like a weird combination of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime with the English flag for wings. I'm honestly surprised that nobody has made up some kind of story about this made-up mystery bot, or retconned him into some other character like Prima or Sentinel Prime or something like that. When Wheeljack says,
Ratchet! Tools!
I love Ratchet's big smile. Aww, he looks so happy to be working with his buddy Wheeljack. It's so cute. So the remaining Autobots go to save their friends. And I just want to point out one really glaring animation error here. We see Thundercracker and Skywarp attacking Wheeljack, but they keep messing up the Seeker's color schemes. I mean, 1 second Thundercracker is colored like Starscream, and Skywarp is colored like Thundercracker, and then they're both colored like Thundercracker, and then Skywarp teleports as Thundercracker and reappears as Starscream? Seriously, the animation in this episode is so terrible. I mean, just look at the way Soundwave is running here. And when they finally throw the grenade that fixes the Autobots, it seems like they forgot to put in some of their car modes beforehand. So instead, it just kind of makes them look like they were invisible, and the grenade made them visible again. This episode is also the second time that they mention laser cores, which are presumably what they call sparks in G1. So in the end, the Autobots beat the Decepticons, and Ratchet has a big lineup of repairs to complete. This was a pretty disappointing episode of G1, and I think it all comes down to the poor animation. It's like Hanna-Barbera quality. I mean, there's a huge list of animation errors on TF Wiki, far more than I care to go through in this video. But one that I find really odd is that Shockwave actually appears on Earth a couple times during this episode. He never says anything, and he seems to disappear from shot to shot. So I assume that they just mistakenly put him in here for some reason. But still, it's really weird seeing him on Earth, when he is almost always on Cybertron. Although that's not to say that the other aspects of the show aren't at fault either. For example, when Megatron orders Starscream to try and transform back to his root mode, at first I thought they were using this as a technical term for their original mode, but as the TF Wiki points out, this could actually be a typo, and Frank Welker was supposed to say robot mode here, and they forgot the B in robot, and Noah D caught it. One cool note, however, is that when Megatron is trying to scare away the spectators, we can spot a kid wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt in the stands, which I assume is a nice little nod to the fact that G1 was produced by Marvel Productions. But yeah, overall, this was not a very good episode of G1. Well, what about you? What did you think of this episode of G1? As always, let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you here for the next episode of the original Transformers series, Atlantis Arise. Oh man, it's like we're going from bad to worse. If I recall correctly, this is an especially bad episode of G1. Maybe the worst in the series, at least in my opinion. Well, I'll see you here next week for that.